Hello, bros and brodettes. We're here, and this is Help I Need an Adult at Foggy Water Studios. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing great. All right. So we're having a guest today by the name of Kraig, who is a marketing graduate and a diabetic warrior. He's an awesome guy, personal friend of all of ours, and we had a sweet time doing this interview, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. Megan?
And we'd like for you guys to go look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and our we also are streaming on Spotify. All you have to do is go into the app and search Help I Need an Adult, and you will find me and Matt. And we will have your weekly update on Thursday. And for more people to see us and to connect with us, please give us a 5-star rating and maybe a written review.
Eminem.
And we look forward to your comments and feedback. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Find us on that website, baby. foggywaterstudios.com. And everything else Megan said. Only 5 stars, though. Maybe 4.5.
Only 5 stars.
But we hope you guys enjoy. And thank you so much.
You're taking a new drug for your diabetes too, right? Do you?
Yeah, insulin.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about that, that's actually something I've been doing research on.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had anybody, and I think it'd be if you are comfortable with it, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because
we were talking about like iPhones getting made for like $8. A vial of insulin's like $5. I'm fucking putting shit on credit cards for medicine to keep me alive.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah. Well, I had to. Do they not have a program to help you with pay for that?
No, he probably makes too much fucking money.
Insurance.
Because
but the deductible is a couple grand now, like for good insurance.
Oh, I know.
So like you're out of pocket $2,000.
The only reason I asked,
they
have a financial aid program for the medicine that I'm supposed to be on.
Yeah.
But I had to stop taking it. I stopped my Gilenia, so I'm not taking any disease modifying drugs right now.
Did you notice a difference when you got off that stuff?
No, because I just started taking good care of myself.
Is it like diet or just exercise?
I do diet and exercise, and I do intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a big part of it. I follow the Walls protocol.
What is that?
Dr. Terry Walls is a lady that has multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
And she was in a wheelchair. And now she's not in a wheelchair, and she walks around and she rides her bicycle 20 miles a day.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just started doing that. And I was like, this is going to work. Because what happened is the same problem that you're talking about, the price.
Yeah.
So Gilenia costs $5,000 for 30 pills a month.
Yeah.
Jesus. So every month you're spending $5,000?
And what do you take, like one a day?
You take one a day.
Fuck that.
God.
Well, I mean, and then they're like, well, you
a pill?
For a pill. And also a side effect is lymphoma. So like eventually, and like I talked to other people about it, and they're like, you might get cancer. The doctor's like, you might get cancer. That's a maybe side effect. They're like, no, it's not an if, it's a when.
Yeah.
And that was really scary to me.
Yeah.
Because I have 3 kids. But that was the thing. Like when I went to the doctor's office, they're like, you have 3 kids. You need to be on this medicine. You have 3 kids. Well, I have 3 kids. And if I get lymphoma and I get cancer and I don't beat it, then I'm dead. And my 3 kids don't have a mom.
Yeah.
But so CVS sent me a bill for $1,000. Even though it was supposed to be covered by financial aid, which comes from the Gilenia company. So you have to go through Gilenia to get financial aid.
Did you do that online?
No, I did everything on the phone.
What happens when you have 31 days in a month? What do you do?
They just send you next month's pills.
No, they don't just send you like a single one.
They will.
Not one on the house.
Yeah. Here's one on the house.
They
for
do.
all the money you've given us.
They will send you a week pack. If you get behind, they'll send you a pack of 7 for free. They will do that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Bastards.
So if you talk
$5,000.
Yeah,
7.
Well,
assholes.
God.
Anyway, so I gave CVS the information to cover the bill. So I wasn't supposed to pay anything for this prescription. Then CVS sends me a bill for $1,000, and I was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah.
They told me this was going to be
squeeze me
free. I know it's not free, but anyway. And so I just left it on the table because I was like, I thought it was for the next month. And I was like, I'm just not going to get next month's. Well, a couple months roll around and a collection agent's called me saying I owe $1,000. I was absolutely livid. So I called them and I was like, this is supposed to be covered. So she goes into the computer and they did not press enter. One thing they didn't do, they didn't press enter to enter in the information so I could have got my medication for free, basically.
Lazy hoes.
Damn.
Isn't that terrible? I went through all that.
I remember you were here when you were talking on the phone. You were getting crazy.
I was really upset. It was $1,000. Like I
mean,
don't
like
have $1,000.
pharmaceuticals. I mean, it's fucking stupid. It really is. And like for a pill.
For a pill.
I remember doing a project in college. It's so cheap to make a fucking pill. Yeah. It's so cheap. I mean, it's pennies.
Medication.
Well, I mean,
super cheap.
when I was on Tisabri, and you had to go up to the hospital to get Tisabri, and you had to go to a certain place to get it, and that's intravenous. Like a drug. It is. I mean, you got to go to the hospital
aisle, and then over into this room, and then jingle the bell 4 times.
You have to. This is a certified place for it. There are only a few places that are certified to give Tisabri out because you have to. They have to make sure you don't have an allergic reaction. You don't have a reaction to the medicine. You have to have a nurse there.
God, that sounds like I don't even want.
You're in a room with like 30 other people, and all of you guys are hooked up to IVs. And so they give you the medicine.
Sounds like a
cancer ward.
Yeah.
It is exact. It's very much like getting chemotherapy.
It reminds me
Which actually, when you look at the bill, it says it's a form of chemo. But when you talk to them, they're like, no, it's not really chemo. They just put it under that category for some reason. I'm not sure.
Insurance purposes.
And that's the other thing. Like, you never even know. Like, you got one doctor telling you one thing, and then they're like, well, it's not really chemo. But for all you fucking know, maybe it is.
That's right. You don't know what's in there. And that's... Well, and I had talked to some of those nurses because the next medicine up is called Ocrevus.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about doing it because it's only once every 6 months. And I asked them, I was like, well, how often do you have a reaction? And that lady was like, we have a reaction every day. Somebody has a reaction to the medicine every day. Like her face, you could just tell on her face that she was like, if Tisabri's doing you good, you should probably just stay on it.
Take this.
Yeah, basically. And I was
do it.
Yeah, don't do it. I can't legally say don't do it, but my face says don't
her
do
face
it.
said don't do it for
Can't
sure.
legally say.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it was nice that they were honest with me about it, but it's just really hard to be on medication for life, which I mean, like, this is really your life, and everything at this point, it centers around taking the medicine or getting to the place where they have the medicine, affording the medicine, how it affects your friends and family, how it affects your personality, because it's also going to affect how your whole body works. I mean, especially with you and your sugar, because sugar is such a big, glucose and stuff like that.
Definitely. Like when my blood sugar's high, like I'm irritable. I get pissed off.
Yeah, my boss has, I think there's 2 types, right?
Type 2 is normally overweight.
Right. So it's the type 1 is the one where you have to do it shoot insulin every day, right?
Yeah.
The type 2
You're
is
born
more
with it.
Right. Type 2 is more manageable, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got type 2. I guess it's just because he's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell when his blood sugar's high.
Yeah.
He's
You get hot.
He gets a little irritable, and
Yeah.
it's like he's like like you said, flushed.
Yeah.
Kind of flushed sometimes. Yeah.
Well, last night, me and Dawn were at a Christmas party, and I had this stupid fucking Christmas sweater on, and they like in Thanksgiving territory.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I was like, the turkey's butt isn't even in the picture yet, and somebody's having a Christmas party. What in the world?
She's like, you gotta go. Just be a nerd with me. I'm like, okay, I love you. I'll do it.
I'll be nerdy.
Go there, spend a couple hours, whip some people's asses in pool.
Yeah,
rich people, by the way.
Oh yeah, just nail some
dude,
money
a
off
mansion.
Of them?
We were in a mansion.
No shit.
And towards the end of the night, about 30 minutes before we leave, Dawn's like, yeah, we're gonna leave soon. I'm like, oh, thank God. I drank my 2 beer limit.
Yeah.
want to go home, drink a couple more beers, and go to bed.
Man.
30 minutes go by, and she's like talking. I'm like, "Where's your keys?"
You're like checking your watch.
Yeah. I'm like, "Where's your keys?" And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I'm hot. I took my sweater off. Around a bunch of rich fucking white people.
Yeah.
See my tattoos. Oh.
You think they judged you?
Oh, definitely. Definitely got judged.
Yeah.
So I took my sweater off, get the keys, go sit in the car. I turn it on to where I can roll the windows down. Sitting out there, like, okay.
Yeah.
Hit my vape pen because I'm not doing it in their house, obviously.
Yeah. You're respectable, even though they see your tattoos and don't think you are. You are actually a respectable person.
Oh yeah. And Dawn gets out and she's, "What was that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What was what?" It's like, "You just ripped your sweater off and went outside." I'm like, "Yeah, I said I was hot. You said we were leaving 30 minutes ago." So it turns into like
an argument, huh?
A conversation.
And
I'm like, I need to go home. My blood sugar's high.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Like, I could tell my blood sugar was getting high. I need to go test my blood, see where I'm at, correct, and go to sleep.
You can kind of sense it now.
Oh yeah.
You can feel it like creeping.
And I'm not like, I don't normally get heated.
Yeah.
But when I start getting anxious and I'm like, okay, and like the whole me taking my sweater off, that's an indicator to myself, like, don't be around anybody, don't say anything to anybody, just go.
Yeah.
Just
because it's your body's
getting
way.
Irritated.
Your body's basically telling you, look, you need to fix this or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with chronic illness. You have to learn your limits, and you have to. And so I watched Dr. Gabor Mate on YouTube, and he has a book called "When the Body Says No." And so basically what you're saying is your body, you go so long without saying no, then your body makes you say no.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where chronic illness comes from. It comes from saying yes constantly and never saying no. And so when you get to a point, you have to say no.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to say no, because if you don't say no, you're hurting yourself, and then you're going to hurt other people. Like you said, if you get irritable, or like if I'm in pain, and somebody, like, especially the kids, like, they don't understand.
Yeah.
And and I know it's hard for people to understand, especially people that don't live with chronic illness.
Or know anybody that has it, yeah.
I mean, even people that know me. And
they're not with you every day, though. They don't know, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like, even your parents or anybody, if they don't live with it, they don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm sure people come up to you, they don't know you're sick. Like, if I looked at you, I don't know you're sick. And I think that's the same way with me. It's like, you look perfectly fine. Actually, you look better than you ever have, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you look really healthy. And I was going to say it earlier. Like, I know my aunt, I've mentioned, has MS. And a girl I used to date back in Charlotte has it. And the girl I dated, she looks fine. You wouldn't ever guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you look good compared to, like, my aunt.
Yeah.
But she doesn't take care of herself. She doesn't take any medicine. Like, I'm sure you have your days where you're like, I don't want to get out of bed. Her solution to that was doing illegal drugs to get her going.
But I can see that too. I could see that as, like, because I went to the doctor so many times, and it's like, so what I struggled with the most was probably depression.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
And so you tell the doctor that, and you're like, the only thing I'm really struggling with, I'm tired all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just exhausted. I don't want to do anything. And they're like,
that's so
well,
annoying.
We'll give you an antidepressant. I don't want an antidepressant.
Yeah.
I'm depressed because I can't go anywhere or live a normal life. I don't talk to everybody. I don't go out. I don't have a regular job.
Yeah.
And you're just wanting to give me an antidepressant and shut me up.
Which I've considered getting on that too, because it's like the same with diabetes.
Yeah.
And right around the time I think Matt quit Sprint, I got laid off. Not shortly after that, and I think I came over and I borrowed the lawnmower or some shit. And Yeah, I mean, I was definitely depressed, but it was on top of like an underlying depression that like I didn't even know was there.
Yeah.
And I didn't snap out of it until like Dawn was like, you need to do something or I'm fucking leaving you. Like I was literally like laying on the couch all day, which was fine. Like I felt like I could sleep all day.
Yeah.
But that was like depression on top of depression. I didn't realize I had depression after that because I never thought about it, but when you have a chronic illness, most people don't realize like your life expectancy is half of what it would normally be. So like I remember joking around saying like, yeah, I'll be happy if I make it to 50. People like 50? Like my mom's over 50. Like, yeah, I'll be happy if I make it to 50. Well, that's depressing. I'm like, well, that's statistically what I'll probably make it to just cuz heart attack, stroke, all the shit that comes with being diabetic since you're 10 years old or having MS. And eventually I was like, well, shit, I'm going to be 31 on Thanksgiving. It's like 50 is not that far away. Like maybe 60 is a little bit better. I don't know.
I mean, I think when you and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about, when the body says no and listening to therapists, especially on YouTube, which was really helpful for me. I think you tell yourself a story.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily your story. I mean, you could make it to 70 or 80. I think if you really wanted to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, that was part of it. I think that I got caught in the story that wasn't even my story. It was other people's story. It's the doctor telling me this, or a parent telling me this, or the internet said this. But that's not my story. My story is a story I write myself.
Yeah.
And you have to, that's kind of, you have to find that empowerment, I think, within yourself. You have to find that will. And that's not easy, especially when you're depressed, to say, this isn't what life is supposed to be like.
It's supposed to suck a little bit, but you're basically like, all right, this sucks, but you know what? There's a new day ahead.
Well, I mean, I think there is some suffering. You are going to go through some suffering, but it really is what perspective you put it in.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know if anybody's going to be like happy 100% of the time.
No, nobody's going to be happy 100% of the time.
If you are,
like people
you're probably on drugs if you are.
Well, or you're crazy.
Or you're crazy.
I like some of those drugs.
Yeah, right.
like manic people, like manic depressives, when they're happy, they're like really happy.
That's true. Like like bipolar people, like some, how they'll be like super, super crazy happy, and then it's just like they're laying in their bed for like a month or whatever.
So I don't imagine being happy like that or happy like a kid, but being content. I'm just content. And
content is a nice
I think
word.
That's where I'm at too. Like, it's like I was really, really reckless in my younger years, and it's because I just didn't care.
Yeah.
But I think like I'm content now, like you're saying, and it's to a point where I think it annoys some people.
I think people get annoyed by that energy.
Yeah.
Because they can't be content. So if you're content in their space and they're like bothered by that, I think, that could definitely irritate their spirit maybe, or their energy. They're like, this isn't right. Like,
spirit's a good word for it.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe they're like jealous because they wish they could be.
And I don't want to be like that cynical to think like, I hate to talk about Dawn again, but like, she's like, you just don't show enthusiasm. Like, well, I woke up, I have medicine to take to keep me alive. I'm content with what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm fine.
You kind of have to make yourself be like that, because if you're not like, you know what, I'm alive and I'm up and able, and I'm able to walk and go work, and
I'm going to work.
Yeah, like, and people are like, well, you need something else. It's like, do I really though? Like.
Well,
and that's the thing. Like, she's like, you need something else. I'm like,
a hobby
no, I don't.
Something?
Like, I'm fucking fine.
Well, I think, if you're grateful for what you have, for this, that was something that I listened to this morning about gratitude. Like, do you live in gratitude? Are you grateful for everything? Do you have, and if you put more on you, are you going to be more stressed? Are you really going to be happy? I mean, the thing, with that though, that whole conversation that you're just having is the thing between me and Matt, because I can be really joyous and have a lot of passion and be very animated. Matt is the same literally all the time. Like, I have this conversation with people all the time.
Never seen that side of Matt.
Matt is the most even person I've ever met in my whole entire life. And I think that's
why we're friends.
I think that's something that drew me to him, as far as like stability and knowing that this isn't going to change.
He's like the
But it's also
definition-
really hard because I'm constantly, and maybe that's a female thing. Yeah, I'm constantly like.
He's like the definition of even keeled.
He is. He really
Even
is like
keeled.
baseline.
I think I may have seen pissed or Matt pissed like one time.
It takes a lot though.
Dude, I've known him like over like almost 10 years, and
Yeah.
I think I've literally seen him pissed off like 3 times.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get Matt to any emotional state.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's hard because it doesn't take me a lot to get to, well, I can be really ecstatic,
Yeah.
or I can be really like mad, or I can be I have a lot, like a range.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's the same. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme where it's the man looking at the colors and it's the woman looking at the colors, and the woman has a different name for each color. And the man's like, these are all blue and these are all green. And women are like, this is periwinkle and this is lavender. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I think there is a big difference in some men and women in that.
Oh,
aspect.
definitely.
Because he's just like, these are all blue, these are all green. And I'm like, you know, no, this is this emotion, this is this makes me feel this way. So
yeah, I feel like I have three emotions, like angry, happy, or just normal.
I think that's a lot of men.
You know?
That's me, man.
Well,
And just because I'm normal doesn't mean I'm not happy. It's just I'm not like exuberantly happy.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I love this pillow.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
You're happy.
it's a fucking pillow.
But then you're just like, hey, this pillow, yeah,
That's how
it's
Matt
comfortable.
is.
You're like, normal. Okay, I'm normal now.
And there was the guy that wrote Women Are From Venus and Men Are From Mars. There was a video on Facebook and he talked about men in a nothing box. This is a concept that I cannot understand because I can't imagine going into a box where there's nothing. Like, you don't think about anything. You just sit there.
I'd love that.
And like Matt said that he has a nothing box and he just goes in the nothing box. And I was like, how do you do that? Because I can sit in one spot and aliens are going to pop up. The universe is going to pop up. God is going to pop up. Trying to figure out quantum physics and why this is this way. But he's just like content just to sit in one spot and
shut his mind off.
Yeah. How do you shut it down?
I don't have a nothing box, but what I have is I imagine a cliff, like a huge cliff, right? Like the Grand Canyon type cliff. And like all my problems are like little mannequins, and I just push them off the cliff, and then I'm just alone on the cliff, and I can just be like,
that sounds like a great meditation, though.
No, I'll just say maybe it's not a nothing box with me. It's more of, I guess you would call a music box. I can go in a nothing box, but there's always music playing of some sort.
Yeah, it's like, I guess he just means that there's a area that you can go in and just not think. Yeah. But yeah, I push all my off, and then I'm just like, cool.
Dude, that's a great
the sky
meditation.
Is very nice.
That feels like, that just sounds like meditation though. Like, it seems.
I think it's because I'm angry a lot too, maybe, and I just want to like,
no,
I
think that works. Though.
And watch them shatter down upon the rocks below.
You can be violent in that way.
I think like anger is like, and this is another conversation that I have with Dawn all the time. She's like, she always sees, I'm normal, like you were saying. Like I'm mostly normal.
Yeah.
So I'm not like super happy and not pissed off, but
it doesn't mean that you're sad. You're just normal.
Yeah, she does see me like, you know, if the dog takes a piss on the floor, I'm like, "Fuck, why'd you do that?"
Yeah.
And she sees that, and I'm showing an emotion, and she's like, "Why are you showing anger right now?" I'm like, "It's just like love. It's just like happiness. It's an emotion.
Yeah.
We all have it."
Right.
Most people are just afraid to show it.
Well,
it's not like you want to murder the dog. You're just like,
no, and like I don't hit the dog. Like I'm just like, why?
A lot
why
of people
did you do that?
don't know how to show healthy anger, though. Like I
think expressing it is good.
It is good to express it, but expressing it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Like you said, most people try to suppress it because everybody sees it as bad, but it's not bad to have anger if you express it in a healthy way. Like if somebody was doing something to you, like if I got up in Matt's face and I'm just like,
yeah.
Of course he's gonna be like, Megan, you're in my spot. Just
You're in my spot, girl.
You're in my spot. You're in my personal space.
Get on out.
I'm
about to push you off this cliff.
Bye, mannequin.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's, I do think. And we had a conversation about that too, about showing anger, because sometimes that's one of Matt's things too, is the way he disciplines comes from a really angry place. But I think that comes from childhood, because I think that's how his mother was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't know you're going to repeat what you saw growing up.
Yeah.
So if your parents were angry with you when you were little and that's how they express their anger, you're going to express your anger in the same way, or you're going to suppress it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's part of it. Like, I'm pretty bad about suppressing anger.
So it's hard to break that cycle, because you grew up with it for years and years.
It's a behavioral pattern.
Yeah.
I definitely grew up with it.
Yeah.
Like, not my mom so much, but my dad. And it's from a movie. I think Boiler Room, maybe. Some guy was telling a story about he got hurt or broke his leg or some shit, and he was crying, stuck behind a car, and his dad came up and like smacked him in the mouth because he was so worried. His dad was so worried, and my dad was very much like that. He fucking did something. I got grounded or whatever, and I'm running away.
Yeah.
And fucking
weird
7 years
ways.
old, I disappear.
Yeah.
I'm gone for most of the day. I finally come back. It's dinner time. I'm hungry, and
Yeah.
I opened the door, and my dad fucking smacked me in the mouth and was like, "Where the fuck have you been?"
Yeah.
Because he was worried. And I don't like feeling like that. Whether it's my brother, my niece, nephew, I get worried, and like my first thing is like, why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah.
To make me so worried about you. I don't like feeling like this.
You get angry at them.
I want to be normal.
Right.
And now, like, I was concerned. And so, I think it's one of those things you definitely have to recognize it. It's good to show all kinds of emotion, but you should also realize maybe I shouldn't react that way. And I learned that recently. I can't remember the situation, but my first reaction was, I'm pissed. And I later realized, like, well, wow, I feel like my dad. Like, I remembered, I put myself back in like being a little kid, running away, thinking I was never gonna fucking come home or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the anger in my dad, it resonated. I'm like, okay, so that's where that comes from, but that's not the right way to do it.
Right.
I think sometimes you do it subconsciously, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you'll react before you even have time to think about it. And I mean, your brain does work that way.
Mm-hmm.
It will react before your body reacts, actually, before your mind even thinks that that's what you're doing sometimes. So I can see that. Like, you've learned this behavioral pattern. Your body knows this pattern, so this is what your body's going to do automatically each time.
Yeah.
So you have to retrain yourself.
Yeah.
And then there was a thing about reparenting yourself. So you it's weird being
your
older.
Own parent. You gotta be like your own parent.
It's weird.
Like, now, Megan, don't you do that? Okay,
Well, I mean,
mom. Okay, mom.
I do.
Shame on me.
Shame on me.
There are a
Bad
lot
Megan.
of ways that I need to reparent myself, because I mean, I did. As a kid, I was not. There was a lot of things that I wanted to do that I wasn't allowed to do. Part of that is, my dad and mom's issues and religious issues, and so there was a lot of things that I stifled as a kid. And you do to be, and that goes back to the Gabor was saying that you do what you have to do so that your parents will stay attached to you.
Mm-hmm.
For survival, because when you're a kid, all you want to do is survive. So you have to have love, food, and shelter.
That's right.
And so you do what you have to do for your parents to want to love you, and so that you'll be fed, and so that you'll feel. That's the thing about humans. Humans want to be
taken care of.
They want to be part of a community. You want to be part of a family. You want to be have friends. We're
included.
Yeah. And when you feel excluded or you feel like unloved, you know, you do things that are not necessarily within your nature. And that's why a lot of people aren't successful either, because they don't go out on a limb, or they're not themselves. They're not authentic.
They're afraid.
Fear is really what keeps us all back.
Yeah.
And you have to see that, and you have to say, why am I fearful of this? Is this something from my past? Is this something, am I afraid of the unruly mob, or am I afraid of my parents? Am I afraid of my husband?
Judgment of peers.
That's what I want to try.
Or failing.
Failure is a big one, but
that's a huge fear.
I think that was, even with Kat here yesterday, and she was talking about, she's not even worried about failure because it's about the journey. And that's like a successful mind. I wish I could think like that.
That's a great mindset.
That's a great mindset, because there's so many people out there, they're like, failure is where you learn.
Mm-hmm.
You don't learn anything in success. It's in the failures. It's in the dead ends. So you got to turn around and redo it, and you do it better. But that is hard, especially, I don't know, for a person like me who's really a perfectionist, not getting something right the first time. But I think that comes from being a kid too, because I tell you, and when I was little, and I'm kind of, obviously you can tell I'm kind of, I don't want to tell the story, but I'm going to say it. My dad would tell it different, but when I was a kid, my dad would help me study my spelling words.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I didn't spell all of them right, my dad would spank me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, I feel like if I don't do it perfect the first time, there's going to be a punishment. There's going to be pain. There's going to be something.
There's going to be a consequence.
There's going to be a consequence for not getting it right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of my childhood. There's consequences for not being perfect. There's consequences for not getting it right. And
there is for sure. But I think, and like we were saying just a little bit ago, you realize that, and as an adult, like you just addressed it now, I'm sure you're addressing it. So that's a good thing. And also the other thing I want to touch on with that statement is, it feels really good when you try something one time and you get it right. Like perfect shot, home run, strike, like
the swish,
awesome. Yeah.
The swish of life.
It's awesome. It's a great feeling. And I think a lot of people chase that.
Well, it's a drug.
Yeah.
I mean, you get high off of that. It's a body thing, I mean, you can get, I think, any feeling, if you feel it for long enough, your body's going to get used to that and crave it. Whether it's anger, whether it's depression, whether it's whatever, because your body's just really chemicals. So what chemical today is going to make me feel, I mean, I don't know. It's complicated, but it's simple. Like it.
Yeah, no, I see. I know what you're trying to say.
It's weird, and it's weird how the different things affect different people, and they affect your health, and I think that was kind of what this is a roundabout way of saying that. Any of this stress, any of these feelings, any of these emotions can come back, and they can make you better or worse. Your thoughts make you better or worse.
That's why I want to.
I mean, I think
I know I know I have a bad temper, but I'm going to go out of my way to make sure I don't show it in front of my kid.
You have to do it in a healthy way.
Exactly.
I think that's what we were saying.
Like,
show that you can be angry, but do it in a healthy way.
I don't want to do it like my dad did to me when I was young.
Have you ever checked your blood pressure too? While you before or after you?
Not when I'm angry. No.
We do it afterwards and see how high your blood pressure is. I mean, do emotions affect your sugar? Do you think? Is that why you like to say kind of steady? Because for you, steady is probably
healthier.
Yeah, I think in general, it's probably healthier for anyone to maintain a even keel. But I can't say for sure that I got pissed off and then I noticed my blood sugar was high or low. Normally, when my blood sugar's low, I'm fucking crawling on the floor trying to get to some sweets.
But you've never noticed if your emotions were any different before they got lower or higher, as the
I'm pretty lethargic. Like, so sugar is energy.
Yeah.
And like a normal blood sugar is like 80 to 120.
And I got a question about that. Like, so you're saying your blood sugar gets really low, right? But my bosses will get high.
He's got type 2.
Is that what it is? Is type 2 is always your blood sugar
No.
spikes? So how did is it sometimes it'll get low, sometimes it'll get high?
Sometimes it'll get low, sometimes it'll get high.
Okay.
For no matter whether you're type 1 or type 2.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was like
type 2. Like I said, it's normally people that are a little overweight, older.
Yeah.
It's adult onset diabetes. Right. Typically, if you're overweight, your circulatory system isn't functioning like it should, right?
Right. That's why they get like their feet start getting
amputation. Yep. A lot of times you'll see it. Blindness in an eye or both. Just a bunch of random shit that no one wants to deal with.
Yeah, man.
But also, most type 2 diabetics, they have a pill that they can take. And there's a million different brands that evens their blood sugar and keeps it level. But when you're overweight, your circulatory system's off. So it's not always evenly distributed. So, like you said, it's a spike in his blood sugar.
Gotcha.
Or if he decides, to have a fucking piece of cake if someone's getting promoted or whatever.
Yeah, it's always
they got
high.
Cake at the office.
It's like always high for some reason. Like he never, whenever he's like, damn it, it's never like my blood sugar's low. I got to eat something sweet or something. He's always, it's like always like it's high. I think
part of that is stress. Because my dad has type 2 diabetes and he is always stressed.
Yeah.
Because of his job. And I probably after him and my mom got a divorce is when his stress level probably went even higher. And I would say that it probably stayed high after that. And I think that's part of it too.
Well, that's going to cause even more problems.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Stroke and heart attack, we're 50% more likely to fucking have that.
What would you say your main, I guess, maybe protagonist of diabetes? Is it diet? Is it stress? Is it
the cost of medicine?
The cost of medicine?
100%.
Yeah.
I actually was going to bring the story up earlier when we were talking about your pills that you were taking. That what was it, like $5,000 or?
Yeah, it's $5,000.
It's just nuts, man.
So, like, not to get into politics too much, but Obama, when he was in office, he passed this.
The Obamacare? Is that what it is?
Shit. Well, Obamacare ended up fucking me in the end anyways. So I don't like Obama for that.
I think it fucked a lot of people.
You got your issues with the college stuff with Obama too.
But Obama put something in place through that Obamacare plan where you could be covered under your parents' insurance up until
26.
Yeah. Well, I was an idiot slacking off, so I was still in. As long as you were in college, you could be covered or going to school.
Could you be covered like before that? Was there a limit?
No,
there was. You were cut off at 18, I think it was.
Okay, gotcha.
So I graduated when I was 26.
Yeah,
I changed my major a couple times and whatever. I was in college I could technically be a doctor if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that's part of college too, is you're finding yourself.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, and that's what it was. I mean, I wouldn't take it back. But luckily, with Obama, I was covered under my mom's insurance.
Yeah.
Up until I was 26. Graduated when I was 25, 26. Got taken off the insurance, and I was paying for private insurance because I was bartending at the time, which no restaurant offers. Sure. Health insurance, except to maybe management or, whatever.
Even if that, maybe.
Waffle House does.
Really?
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Fancy.
It's a rarity.
It is, because I bar backed, and it was like, you
don't get shit.
You get cash.
You don't get anything working in the restaurant business.
No.
I mean,
pretty much.
I've worked in a restaurant. Not fun.
But, so I, was going to get my insulin for the first time, and I had no idea like how deductibles work or anything like that. Yeah. My deductible was $2,000 at the time.
God, man.
So I go and I go to get my insulin, which I needed bad. Like I had nothing left. And they rang it up, and I was like, yeah, I have new insurance. Gave them the card, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be $1,800 or whatever. I was like, what? I just gave you my insurance card.
Yeah.
Well, you have to pay your deductible. I don't know what your deductible is, but
Pay
this
up
is,
to it.
to get this medicine, you have to give me $1,800 fucking dollars. I'm like, I don't have it.
Jesus, dude.
And I literally fucking teared up in the middle of fucking CVS and was like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, man, because
I need this.
You're gonna die if you don't get it.
And like the girl behind the counter, like, she got fucking teary eyed too. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know what to do. Should I just go to the fucking hospital? Because I need insulin right now.
Yeah. Well, they'll charge you more than that too, but
you have to, if you go to the hospital has to treat you.
Yeah.
So they have to treat you, and they can. So I worked at the hospital in admissions for a while. That was my job. I had to go in and tell people how much they owed.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like
that
a
is
fun
a
job.
horrible.
I hate you.
It's
No.
horrible.
Sounds like a great
when you
job.
go in there and you have to be like, so I had a guy come in and his deductible was $5,000, and my boss was like, you have to ask him for that.
Yeah.
And so I went in there and they were like, well, we're not giving you that today.
Like,
Then, yeah. Well, you get a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the thing about the hospital is they have a financial counselor. So with the hospital, you can work stuff out. Usually you can go to her and you can talk to them about what you're financial.
If you tell them, hey, I
Yeah.
can't, they have I don't know if it's the same thing down here. I had to go to the ER right before I moved here for a stupid accident that I caused myself. I forget what they called it. It was like it's pretty much like a charity.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, I don't have insurance. I can't afford to pay you. Like, what can I do? And they're like, well, we can go through this organization. A lot of times they'll pay the majority of your bill. And we'll bill you out for the rest of it, or, whatever. I never ended up paying a dime.
I think.
But it fucked my credit up.
Yeah, well, it will. I mean, some organizations will do that, or sometimes it just goes to collections.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was there training, there was a lady that was like, there are some people you're just not going to get money from. And she would pull up an account and there would be like over $1 million worth of charges where these people are just coming into the ER all the time because they know they have to treat you in the ER.
They can't deny you treatment.
Yeah. And so she was like, this is the type of person, they come in here all the time and you're not going to get any money from them. We're never going to see a dime from these people, but we have to treat them. And obviously you're going to treat them respectful. They're humans, but it is really
frustrating.
It is frustrating because all the other, like, how many hospital bills have you?
Yeah.
I mean, you had your issues with
I
bills.
did. Yeah. I actually was paying it, but then what they didn't tell us was there's a bill for the ER and then there was a bill for the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And there were different bills and they didn't tell us that. They just said, you have a bill for $6,500. And why it cost $6,500 to tell me I have severe heartburn, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like having a fucking heart attack, and they're like, no, you're just having severe acid reflux. And I'm like, cool. So that's
Zantac
what could be like $600, and they gave me some, like it was like super max Zantac or something. I'm like, cool. So it should be like what, $600 maybe? And they're like, no, it's $6,500. And I was like, I've been in here for like 3 hours and it's $6,500.
That's like,
so I paid it. We're paying it. And then all of a sudden I get a call from a collections agency and they're like, yeah, you owe $300. And then it ended up going, I was like, I'm not paying you guys. No, go F yourself.
Yeah.
And then it ended up going to, we applied for financial aid and literally 10 months later after we applied for financial aid, we're going to court to settle. And the lawyer that was representing the hospital or the doctor, whichever one it was, I can't remember. I think we were paying the hospital, but not the doctor. And we were literally sitting down with him and saying, okay, we can pay this much. And he was like, okay, cool. And I'm pulling out my credit card and he's talking to his assistant and he's like, he's talking. And all of a sudden he's like, really? Today? And then what time? Oh, well, okay. And so he hangs up the phone and I go to give him my credit card and he's like, that won't be necessary. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, your financial aid came through at 2:00 today. We were there at like 4:00. And he's like, your financial aid went through at like 1:30 p.m. And I was like, really? 10 months later?
Yeah.
It was like literally 10 months later.
That's how I felt.
But it's already went to collections.
Yep.
Your credit's already fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And I could have paid him. And then what? Is he going to refund my money? No.
That's
No.
what happened with that CVS stuff with that $1,000. It's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like, I had financial aid. You guys are the
we
ones that
screwed up. Yeah, we screwed
We
up.
didn't put the right, the only
Put
thing.
the right code on there.
Yeah, they just didn't hit enter.
Yeah.
You just didn't hit enter, and you could have got paid, and I could have been out of this situation
Everyone
where
would've been
I was
happy.
stressed for
Yeah.
months and
Yeah.
months and months about $1,000 hanging over my head
No,
and medicine
right.
that the doctor pushed on me that I didn't even want to fucking be on in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I went up there and I told them, I was like, I'm not doing medicine anymore. And they're like, you got 3 kids. And I was like, well, I do have 3 kids.
Well, I got 2 fingers for you.
Mind
Yeah,
your business.
Well, I mean, it freaks you out because they're
Yeah.
like, you could be in a wheelchair in 6 months. Well,
Well,
here
they-
I
they-
am.
They make you
scared.
afraid.
I think that's a big part of a lot of this business is fear.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, everything is fear based.
They teach you that in marketing.
Really?
Yeah, that's a tactic.
That makes sense.
It's such a asshole tactic.
But it works so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's afraid of something.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's a primal emotion.
It is.
You know?
Fear.
Fight or
So, like,
flight.
it's like fear and sex. That's pretty much what drives most
Procreation
people.
and fear. That's it.
Procreation.
Show us some leg, Craig, so we can get some hits on this podcast.
Instant 100 views right
Yes.
there.
Only 100?
All right, well, it'll probably be like more like 500.
Maybe if you give us a little nip, we might
Yeah.
get
Well, you only went knee. That's like 100 to 500.
Pants don't go up that high.
You go past the knee, then we're talking 1,000 views, probably. You know, show a little upper thigh.
Oh,
That's
no.
what people want. They want that meaty thigh
Is
part.
it the meaty? Yeah, the complete unit.
The complete unit. Yeah. Who comes up? You know what I always wondered is who comes up with this crap? Like memes. It's just. Is it just a random person does it and then
Stoners.
is it?
Yeah.
It's people who.
But
have
how does
time.
it catch on? Like who do you send
It's
it? Is there
got-
a secret place that you send these memes and sayings to and people are like, nah,
Satan.
that's not going to be
No,
it.
you
And then you
just-
send it and they're like, yeah, that's a new thing.
It's gotta
That's it.
be-
Everyone pass it
Yeah.
around.
It's got to be relatable. It goes back to, you know, well, is this relatable to your life or something you grew up with? So, like, there are memes that I love.
How does a
because
complete unit like no?
That's for
no one
teenagers.
uses that though.
That's for teenagers.
That
That's-
meme with the cat and the blonde lady, that shit's getting old, though. Have you guys
No.
seen that one?
No, I have
I
not.
told Matt we're finding a screen printing place. Matt's wearing the cat, and I'm wearing the lady shirt. We're getting Christmas sweaters like that. And then I told
Oh,
everybody
man.
on Instagram if I
Matt,
could
can
do
you
it.
pull
that
up
was
the
gonna-
meme so I can see this? Because I don't know what this
You
meme
know
is.
the
You
meme.
know it.
I do.
You'll know it as soon as you see it.
It's a lady like this, and the cat's like. You never
I
seen
think
it?
it's
She's,
from
like,
a
scolding
show
the cat?
or something.
I don't even know where it came
Yeah,
from.
me either.
I just think it's.
But like my timeline is, or
That's all
my
it
news
is.
feed is filled up with it. I'm
Yeah.
like, God, please stop.
But the medicine thing is really ridiculous. In the hospital, I mean, is there no way that we could get like insurance and doctors and people together and make a correct policy here to really like everybody's like, we want to help people, we want to help the less fortunate.
I
And
don't-
maybe there's some people you're helping, but the majority of people you're throwing under the bus.
Anybody with a chronic illness, they're not being helped. Not
Yeah.
unless they have a really good job.
Do you think they have a
Or they're
cure?
Yeah,
married
but
to
the
somebody
thing about
with
that, okay,
great
so
benefits.
like for me, if you are on Social Security, you can only make like $1,200 a month. You can make $1,800 a month if you're blind, because you can't do
From Social Security?
no. You
That's
only
what you
get
can bring
800.
in.
That's all you can bring in.
Okay, gotcha.
You can't. That's so if you make over $1,200, that's substantial income. So
That's
they
even bullshit. Though.
That's what I'm
$1,200
saying.
A what? A month?
Yeah, so if you get $1,200 on top of your SSI, then so you can make up to $1,200. If you make more than $1,200 a month, that's substantial income, and they will cut you off. So they make it even hard for people on Social Security to make any kind of money. Like, if you go and you get a job and it's part-time,
What the fuck?
and you made over $1,200 one month, they could cut your Social Security off. and then you can still get Medicare, but you have to pay $10 a month for Medicare or more if you stop getting SSI.
I've never seen this meme. Sorry
You've
to
never
interrupt
seen
you.
that?
Never seen this. I don't get it. She drunk?
Yeah, I think
Or
so.
is she like angry? Like her
She's
boyfriend
definitely
cheated on her?
angry.
I don't know.
I
That looks-
think it's from a show.
That looks like her
Atlanta
friend's like
Housewives or
trying to
something.
like console her, and she's like, "You're a man slut.
Was that something from? I want to say it might have been from.
You-
We have no idea.
I can't
what this
believe
is
you
from.
screwed my aunt."
Yeah.
And then she's like yelling at him, and then the cat's just
Laughing in her face.
like the cat is eating. What is it?
A cat
spinach?
being a cat.
That's a salad.
It's just a little asshole.
So the cat doesn't want to eat the salad.
I don't think that this has any. The cat, I don't think has anything to do with what actually happened. I don't.
No.
Okay,
haven't-
I get it. All right.
I don't think any of us get this. I think we should go back to what we were talking about because this is
They need
really
a meme.
confusing.
They need like a meme class, online meme class to understand what memes mean.
Some of the memes I get. Some of them I'm just like, I don't know what this is about. I don't watch that much TV, so.
I remember the first meme I ever saw.
Which one?
Well, I don't remember the actual meme, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
And I went to my sister-in-law and I was like, "Hey, did you see that meme?" She's like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You see that meme on Facebook?"
The meme.
I said
It's
that
like,
too.
What's a meme?
"Oh my God, Craig, you're retarded."
It was the
It's a
same.
meme.
That
I'm
was
like,
the same
"What?"
thing with the GIF and the GIF thing. Like
Yeah.
I said that to my brother, and he was like, "Megan, it's GIF."
Yeah. I'm
I
like,
was
Oh, I still
like-
say Jeff. Fuck it.
I did. Allison. No, it wasn't Allison. It was somebody.
Maybe
one
I'm
of our
wrong.
friends.
One of us is somebody's wrong out there.
I think it was
Anyway.
one of my friends on Discord was like GIF, and I was like, "Why are you talking about peanut butter, dude?" And he's like, the GIF, the thing, the pictures in motion, and
yeah.
I'm like, GIF, man, not GIF the peanut butter. It's GIF.
That's pretty much what Micah said to me too. It's like it's GIF.
It's not spelled JIF.
I said Mimi first too. I was like, "Look at this Mimi," and
Yeah.
Micah's like, "It's a
Mimi.
meme." I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
don't get
only
mad
2
at me
years.
because I'm older than you.
I'm literally 22 months older than Micah. It's like it's not that much
Yeah.
older, but still, it's like
It's
I'm a different generation.
Like, don't
I'm
you
sure
dare
it'll get-
talk down to me because I don't know what a meme is.
It'll get brought up over
He's
Thanksgiving.
gonna talk down to me anyway because he's taller than me. I'm the shortest.
Well, it sucks because my sister-in-law, she's a social media queen. So when she's like, "Oh my God, Craig, it's meme." I'm
How
like,
old is she?
She's my age. She might be like a month or two older than me.
See, you're like
I'm like-
you're
I don't even like the internet.
I don't even
Like,
yeah,
like. I don't live on the internet like y'all do.
yeah.
right. I have
But she's all over it.
That's
you're like
what
I have a thing called I live a life, man.
Well, there are days that I will, if Mike is messaging me, we'll get in this thing where we have to find who the best meme.
The best meme.
So
I'm not calling them memes anymore.
he'll-
I'm calling them memes.
Meme.
he'll send me one, and then I'll send him one, and then he'll send me one. It's like I can't even laugh at it because I gotta find the next one.
Yeah, you
just to
can't
see-
even
I
enjoy-
gotta
It's a war.
I gotta one up it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't enjoy the memes. You're just meme warring.
But they're so funny though. Like I'll go back and I'll look through and I'm like, this was such a great conversation of no words, just pictures.
just memes, just meme after meme after meme after memes.
I'll show you. It's like,
After
it's just
memes.
like it'll be like hours worth of content. Like I could have been doing something else with my life, obviously.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm finding pictures that
Oh
It's
my
worth it though.
God.
It brought you joy.
Well,
That's why we're all here.
What's funny is that
Just do
I
stuff
mean,
that makes you happy.
we
That's
don't
right.
talk to each other. There are times when we're really close. I mean, you probably know this. You have brothers. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
both have siblings. But there are times that we're really close, and there are times that we don't talk to each other for a really long time. And so
Yeah, it
if
happens.
Micah sends me something, I'm like, well, at least he was thinking about me today. And
Yeah.
so then I'll have a conversation with him or whatever. And then I have 2 younger brothers. And
Do you find that you start conversations with him more, or he starts conversations with you more?
it depends.
Because I think with my sister, she starts conversations with me more.
Well, for me, and I think Mike is the same way, and we probably should work on this. But for me, it's like I don't want to bother, and this is probably a childhood thing too. I don't want to bother you.
Yeah.
You know, like I would really love to have a conversation with tons of people every day. Like, hey, I thought about you today, but I didn't send you a message because I know you're busy. And that kind of happens a lot. Even with my brothers, because like I said, I have 3, but I'm trying to do better with my younger brothers because they are, you know,
How young are they?
18.
Oh,
and
so
19.
still
Youngins.
kids.
Youngins.
Yeah, so I do, and because there was so much time, like when me and Matt got married, they were 7 and 8.
Yeah, man.
And so there was so much time between them being little, and there was a lot of stuff that happened with my mom and her husband, and it was really a bad situation. So there was a lot of disconnect. And I told them both, or at least Alec, I said, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry I wasn't there. I'm really sorry that I tried to save myself, basically.
Yeah.
Like a survival thing. And I'm sorry that you had to deal with what you had to deal with. And, but I'm here for you if you need me. And I'm trying to have a better relationship with him because I think it's important. And
That's all you can do, though.
Yeah.
Is try,
You can't force it on them.
Well, I mean, and
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel like that they can't talk to me, because sometimes
Like they're bothering you if they talk to you,
yeah,
sort
I
of.
don't want them to feel that way.
Yeah.
but at the same token, you were saying you don't want to bother them.
Yeah, I'm really just as bad, and I think that's a childhood thing.
There is a thing of like being too polite, I think.
Yeah.
And sometimes I fall into that. Like, I'm like, you just got to not give a shit sometimes. And like, I don't care if I'm bothering you or not. I fucking love you.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you. Talk to me.
Well,
back.
I think it hurts sometimes. And like, I sent somebody a text message the other day and was like, "Hey, I'm just thinking about you. And I wanted you to know I was thinking about you because I know you're going through stuff."
Yeah.
And they never replied back. But at least they know, hey, somebody's thinking about you. Maybe that's enough. Maybe it's enough just to know somebody's thinking about you.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a book, and it's funny. I'm working at this tire warehouse, and we hired this guy probably 2 months after I got hired. His name's Yogi, but he's tatted up. He looks like he's Hispanic. He looks like a West Coast, like Hispanic dude. And so we all thought he was Hispanic, like to the point where we were getting him to try to talk to our FedEx guy who's Hispanic, who speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
And he's like, "My last name's Patel, motherfucker." Like, he's Indian. Anyways, he turns out to be like a really cool guy, which I never judge people like that anyways, but anyways, we start talking. We have a lot of conversations about life and religion, and he's not super religious. I've never met an Indian person that has tattoos before him. And he started telling me about this book called Emotional Maturity. And he was kind of giving me like the, synopsis on it. And I got real pumped up. I was like, fuck, man, like, let me get that book. Like, I really want to start reading it. And I don't read like that. And it was to the point where I'm like, what's the name of that book again? I'm going to see if I can't find it on Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, there's only one copy ever made. I'm like, this sounds like some Indian bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
and we joke around with him like that. We all have to wear steel-toed shoes. We joke around. Yeah, we're going to get you some steel-toe sandals.
Steel-toed moccasins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he finally gets the book and he gives it to me, and I'm getting over a cold, but it hit me like real bad, the day that he got me the book. And so every day I was going into work, like struggling through this cold. And he's like, "Hey, you read that? Did you read anything yet? You read anything?" I'm like, no, I feel like shit. And finally I fucking read some Friday night after work. And going around my elbow to get to my asshole. You can only do what you can do. It doesn't matter if someone doesn't respond to your text, "Hey, I'm thinking about you." It doesn't matter. Because if you're truly doing that because you want to do that, then you're going to be okay. Yeah. And honestly, it's a short book. It's really thin. I'll let you guys fucking read some of it. I mean,
well, I think
it talks a lot about that.
I think you have to come from a place like that. And don't take it personal. If you're coming from a place of love, you're probably not going to take it personally, because you can't. And this is kind of where I've come to. I can't control anything anybody else does. The only person I can control is myself.
Exactly.
And if I'm coming from a place of love and I'm coming from a place of sincerity and authenticity, then there's nothing wrong with me.
Then you did your part.
That's right. And I did what feels good to me. Like if I reached out to somebody and maybe they didn't get a chance to respond, but maybe it did make them feel good to say, hey, somebody was thinking about me today.
What do you think about people like, okay, so someone who, do you think someone doesn't care if they just don't contact people and people mostly contact them?
I think it's a complicated issue because
that's how I am. Like, I even do that to my wife.
Yeah.
Like, I just won't text people, and I'll go a week, I guess, just because I'm doing things, and then I'll realize a week and a half's passed, and I'm like, I haven't even talked to, my mom or my sister.
I don't think it's because you don't want to. I just think you get caught up in whatever else you're doing, maybe.
Because I rarely just send a text.
Yeah.
Like I want to, but I have to really be
focused on it,
and like
I'm gonna send a text to
yeah, exactly, right.
I think
but
it's
most of the time,
it's a complicated issue. Like I think people can feel neglected maybe, or like you put them off or whatever, but life gets so busy that sometimes you can't just text right back, or they did text you and you totally forgot about it, or again, it can go back to emotions and childhood stuff. Like sometimes, like I said, somebody will text me and I won't text them back because I didn't see it right away and I didn't respond right away, and then it'll just sit there. Maybe they would like to hear from me, but I'm like, I don't want to bother them now.
but you get it, and like you forget about it, and I'm really bad about that. Like
me too, man.
I'll get a text, and what I've done to help, because I know that like people that know me really well, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I get caught up into whatever I'm doing, and I don't like doing that because I feel bad, because I feel like I'm making that person who I forgot to text back, or I saw that they texted me, and just by the time I do get a chance to get back to them, it's fucking, well, why are you even texting me back now?
Yeah, it's like they almost forgot that they texted you.
Yeah. What I do is I don't mark those text messages as read. And actually, I did it to Matt when we were trying to get this all set up. I think last weekend, I was fucking busy as shit at work, and Matt like texted me. He's like, "What we were gonna do it Saturday, and then we were talking about doing it on Sunday at 11." Yeah. And then there was a situation that came up, and he texted me, and I saw it and I read it, but I literally just like read it and put my phone back in my pocket, went back to work.
Yeah.
And then he texted me back like a few hours later and was like, is that time going to work? I'm like, yeah, sorry, man. Like,
I do the same thing to him, because he'll text me at work about something, and it's like 9 or 10 a.m. And then all of a sudden I'm like taking my 2:30 break, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I got to text Matt back, Like, and he's like, it's like something that he really needed to know that, like
it always is.
Yeah, man. I do. I don't know. I guess I smoked too much weed when I was younger or something. I don't know. Or I need more ginkgo biloba in my diet.
Do the ginkgo biloba and exercise. Well, I mean,
there's things that I remember very easily, but like I used to forget my wallet all the time. And I don't know how I did it, but now like I do not leave my house.
You ever do like?
Yes, I do the pat
That's
down.
right. Every time
I'm like boom, 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 boom.
Dude,
it's a train.
Phone,
yeah.
like phone keys.
It used
wallet.
to be cigarette lighter, cell phone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man.
Now it's like vape.
You just trained yourself to do it. That's what it is. It's a training thing. It's like Pavlov's dog.
That's what I did. I was like, I got to start patting myself down like I'm a cop trying to find something, Like
Dawn she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, making sure I got everything. She's like, "You just did it twice."
I'm doing the mat pat.
Well, here's number 3.
Yeah.
Like, I got it.
You're just triple checking, man.
You just want to be. You don't want to be without the essentials.
That's right. But then you can't. Like, I'll forget my hoodie. I'll go out and drive, and I'm like, God, I'm cold. Oh, that's right, because I don't have a fucking hoodie on.
It's at Megan's house with all those other cups that you left.
Yeah.
Like, where's that cup? Well, it's at Megan's house.
That's at Megan's house. I left 8 cups there.
Yep. And I washed them.
Thank you, by the way.
Oh,
Wash
that's
them,
nice.
put them in a plastic bag, and they're still in my. Did you take those home,
I
by the
did.
way? Oh. Yeah, they sat in the basement for like a month or more. How long did they sit in our basement? Yeah.
They've been over here for because Allison's been asking me like, where you're like we're like missing like 16 cups, like because she gets them all the time at her work. You know, like when she goes to things, they'll give them swag.
Yeah.
And
stuff we all get.
Yeah, right. Is that what that stands for?
I don't know. I didn't even think about that until just now. That's hilarious.
I know that
Kraig,
from my OG days.
I did not know that that's what that meant.
I was this days years old when I found out that that's what swag
beautiful.
meant. Wow. Mind blown.
Damn.
It's annoying. It's a cursing and a blessing. Cursing and it's a blessing and a curse.
Some of the swag's pretty good, but like some of it's like you can tell they were just like what cheap shit can we put our logo on?
Yeah.
You know,
that's all it is.
To give people.
That's right.
But then there's some stuff that's like, okay, like she got a Yeti cup.
Oh yeah,
had
that's
somebody.
nice.
And I was like, damn, okay, that's a
Yeti's
that's
legit.
Like $30,
that's
bro.
good.
Well, if somebody does something like that and they put their logo on it, then you know that they put time into effort in whatever they're doing. I think that's the better way to go. Like if you put quality stuff out with your name on it, then people are going to know you have a quality product.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you gave somebody something cheap, then they're going to be like, this is not.
Well, it's nice things and it's convenient things.
Yeah.
So I worked for LG for a long time. It's, you know, how me and Matt met, and they would send us every quarter big boxes of fucking chapstick, pens, like just
The
normal
stuff you
shit.
use
But
every
like
day,
chapstick,
right?
like who wants to go to the grocery store and like, oh shit, I really need chapstick. Let me
Never.
buy this for $1 and some
I
pennies.
do all the time because my lips are always chapped.
Well,
I'm like you.
you know,
I don't go. I don't ever go buy
chapstick is like, that's one of those things. Hand sanitizer, like with a LG logo on it. It's like cool. Like it's shit I'd never buy, but
if I have it, I'll use it.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's like little those little stocking stuffers. This is stuff that this person would normally never buy, but if I put it in their stocking,
they'll use it.
I never gave away swag.
Yeah.
I always kept it for myself and gave it for Christmas
Damn
presents.
right,
There you
man.
go.
There you go, dude. Free Christmas swag, dude.
That's
The
fun.
thing that killed me with that shit though is they would have us do these set up like little table days at like random places, not even cell phone stores.
Sounds like one-on-ones what my wife does. They set up little booth things.
Yeah.
And like try to get business sort of.
But like it's at places like these people aren't looking to
What do you guys buy? You guys sell phones there?
LG is a manufacturer of phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean like so you don't sell like their other electronics because
I didn't, but
you were just the phone like.
But yeah, we had guys that did like the TVs and the home appliances and all that shit. But the thing that killed me with the whole swag thing was it was nice to have it because I'd always use it as like leverage in my stores that I went to. Like say I went to the Sprint store that me and Matt worked at.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I had something really nice, like a Yeti cup or something like a Yeti cup.
Yeah.
Sell me 4 phones. I'll give you this fucking cup.
There you go.
And that is how like I did my business, right?
Yeah, quid pro.
Yeah.
Incentives always get people to work.
Exactly.
Gratitude and incentives.
That's right.
I just wanted you to know I was doing gratitude practice today, and I wanted to tell you thank you for doing this. Also, thank you for coming to our house.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing this.
Because this is, But anyway,
Thank you.
Gratitude and incentives.
Thank you too.
I was just gonna say,
swag. You're talking about the swag.
Some people are fucking selfish, man. So we do these shows like where I'd set up a table and it was at a place where we're not gonna increase sales at all.
Yeah.
And I'd have a cup full of LG pens and someone would walk up and grab a handful of pens to the point where I'm like, do you really need that many fucking pens?
Yeah, like, dude.
Do you even write anything?
Like
just send a fucking email.
Like, why did you just grab 20 pins, bro?
And they'd walk off, thank you. And I'm like,
why?
what are you going to do with all that?
They're going to lay around your house in random places.
They're going to lose all of them is what they're going to do.
Unless they're a waitress, there's no need.
No, these people aren't
Except for,
waitresses.
that reminds me of when I worked at Starbucks and my boss got mad at me because I got to the point where I was putting Sharpies in my apron. And I would forget about them, and I would take them home, and I'd put them in my glove box. And he went in my car one day, and y'all,
How
like
many
120 Sharpies.
Oh my
he was
God,
like,
Megan.
You are the reason I am having to order Sharpies every week.
Sharpie thief.
Well, I mean, you got to have a Sharpie when you work at Starbucks.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
like that's what unless that person's a waitress, there's no reason for you to have that many pens.
That's why you got to get those pink, the one Sharpies with like the pink cap. So you like always know, I got to remember to,
Well, I think like marketing, to speak to that, like, swag is good in the right opportunities. Like the way I was using it for incentives for employees that I worked with. But situations like that, if you're at some fucking show or conference and you walk by and you see that people just got a bunch of free stuff out there, there's two types of people.
Yeah.
One person like, oh, you know what? I like that pen. It looks like it probably writes well. I'll take one.
Yeah.
The other person,
Free shit.
let me take all these pens. And
How many pins can I fit in my
it's a
pockets?
waste. It's a waste of money for these companies, and it's old school. And for me, as a marketing major and understanding marketing just a little bit, you're wasting thousands and thousands of dollars on shit that's just gonna lay around someone's house, like you were saying.
What's crazy about that is I think in some ways they know it. They know that they're wasting money on things that they could change. And it's the same way with hiring people. I watched Jordan B. Peterson talked about that. He has a personality test that he was trying to market to big companies so that they could hire people that would work well for their companies. Companies would rather use what they already know.
Yeah.
So they're almost in like a behavioral
They
pattern.
don't want to change.
They don't want to change. They
They're
don't want to
afraid.
spend money. They don't want to spend money on something else when they're actually losing tons and tons of money all the
Yeah.
time. And it's crazy. It's like, you guys know this. You work in marketing. You work with people every day. You know how much money you're losing. And you're like, it's kind of working. Like, do you
Yeah.
really? You could take it to almost 100%.
Yeah.
But you're like, this is comfortable. And that's almost like a metaphor for life. You're like, you get comfortable with something, you're like,
People don't want to get out of their comfort zone, man.
But I think that's with everything. Like, even with what he's talking about, it's like, this is comfortable for us. This is what we know how to do, and we don't want to do anything different. Even though, like you said, like, I don't know where you guys went that you felt like, okay, this is a better place for me to go and market versus this place. Like, if you went to Walmart, I don't know how well you can market a phone at Walmart. I know those people that try to sell cable at Walmart, they're terrible, and you like try
Waste
to
of
run away
money.
from. That's
Waste
why I
of money
said,
for those companies.
yeah, I mean, like, those, nobody wants to talk to those people. When I go to Walmart to shop for groceries. I might go over to, the other side of the store to look at a bin,
Yeah.
but I'm not there to buy cable.
Yeah.
If I want to buy cable, I'll go on the internet and buy cable.
The rudest I will ever be is try to fucking sell me something when I'm grocery shopping or I'm
Yeah.
at Walmart. I will fucking put my hand in your face. Do not talk to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't.
we have literally. Oh, I know I have, to get around those people, went aisles and aisles around them.
Yeah.
So I did not have to talk to them because I know that they're doing their job. That's
Yeah.
their job. They signed up for that for whatever crazy reason. They were like, yes, sign the dotted line. I want this job at Walmart. I don't know how desperate you were. I don't know how much money you're making, but that job is not worth it. It's just not.
Yeah.
Not for me
No.
anyway.
It's 100% commission. I knew a guy who did those.
No.
So tried to sell cable.
No.
He's like, yeah, it's great extra money. I'm like, what? $200 a month to sit there and have people put their hands in your face
Yeah.
and say, "Don't talk to me."
Please leave me
Like,
alone. I'm at Walmart.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
do that, do something that is like food.
Yeah.
Like a guy was selling jerky at Walmart when me and Matt went, and I was like, okay, this
Yeah.
is jerky. I'm here buying
Yeah,
food.
Put you a food
Yeah.
truck out there at Walmart. Or something.
But like,
There
don't
was a
sell
guy,
cable at
apparently-
fucking Walmart.
no.
That's,
There was a guy playing violin out in the Kroger parking lot, and I was like, this is kind of strange, but I can see him getting tips. That's different. He's out there by himself. You want to walk out there and give him tips. Do not chase me down in Walmart while I'm in my pajamas with 3 kids,
Yeah.
and they're screaming like, oh my God, there's a new Barbie doll. And you're like, hey, can I talk to you about Comcast? Absolutely fucking not. You can talk to me about Comcast while I look like this and have 3 kids with me.
You
It's
talk to-
100% different. Like,
you're like, hey, Marley, talk to this guy about Comcast.
yeah, right.
Hey, Marley, talk to this guy about that book that we had. The
Yeah.
one that made Mr. Matt really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was a great book. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like if a guy is like out there like playing violin, like you
Yeah.
said, like that's one thing.
Yeah.
But like, please don't try to sell me something.
Well, if you're in a store, you're
have
in
my-
the store
yeah, yeah.
for what you went there for. You're not there for cable. If I want cable, I will go to the cable place or I will go on the internet
Look it
and
up
find
online,
cable.
yeah.
You know, like Walmart's not the place to sell extra stuff. Like they got their extra stuff at the front. They got their nail salon, their hair salon, FedEx, whatever. If I want that, I'll go there. Put your cable people up there too if you want to, but don't accost me in the store and harass me because then they make you almost feel guilty for not talking to them. It's like,
not looking at them.
Yeah.
Not giving them any attention.
I think that's a terrible marketing thing for Comcast, which Comcast obviously doesn't care because then they send you on customer service to people in India who probably have no idea what they actually sell. And you're like, I don't understand you. I want to speak to someone who speaks English, which I have been through that. So they sent me to somebody in Mexico one time and he was actually very nice and he did speak really good English. But I was like, are you in the United States? And he was like, no, I'm actually in Mexico. And I was like,
Tijuana.
I asked for somebody in the United States. I was like, you're really nice, but I 100%
Isn't that
know.
the worst when you have someone on the phone? It's like, it's not you. It's this fucking company.
Yeah. But I mean,
you're awesome. This company sucks. You should get a new job.
That's right. Well, I mean, like
I'm battling between liking you and hating this company, and I don't know what.
Well,
I want to yell,
him,
but not yell.
I was like, you know, I'm glad I'm talking to you because you speak really good English. But these other people in India, God bless them. You know, I know they're just trying to make $1 like everybody else, but I cannot understand you, and you don't understand anything about this first world problem, obviously. Can I talk to somebody who understands first world problems?
Yeah. I mean, who has this service and is having a problem.
That's right. That understands the service, that understands what you have to go through. I mean, Comcast is
I've heard.
You know, isn't that part of marketing? Like good customer service?
Absolutely.
I mean, like these companies out here get some customer service. Like customer service is preached in marketing all the time. Like that's your brand, customer service, customer service. I mean, like even with marketing photography, you are your brand. You have to be nice to people. You have to give refunds. You have to be the best possible.
Your customers have to like you.
Yeah. And
or potential customers have to like you.
And when they call you and they have a problem, you're supposed to fix the problem. But big companies don't seem to want to fix the problem. They want to give you the runaround until you give up. Like,
well, it's not even so much as like getting that problem fixed. Showing concern that you're gonna try to fix it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of like saying I will definitely get this fixed for you. Don't worry, 100% accountability. I take 100% accountability. I've never said we're definitely gonna fix this.
Well, you can't.
I always say I'm gonna do whatever the hell I can, and if I can't, I'm sorry, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do my best.
I think that's the best thing that you can do. It's not say we're going to 100% fix this, but say, you know, we'll do the best that we can.
Yeah.
And be sincere about it.
Exactly. Sincerity is what I was trying to get at.
That's kind of the psychological part of it. Like if you're sincere about it, instead of giving people the runaround, I think they take it better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, if you're respectful of their time and their money and the things that they have to do, then I think they'll take it better.
I learned this in the restaurant industry. If you make a customer's problem your problem, then it's not their problem anymore. It's our problem. And you talk about it like it's our problem. We're going to get through this. It's a relationship now.
Yeah.
That alone will get you a 20% tip, even though the food's fucked up.
Well,
you know?
I mean, I think that could be with anything though. Like you have a relationship with these companies. They they want you to come shop at their store. They want you to spend your money with them. Why should you not be respectful of that?
You should be grateful that they're choosing you over the million other companies that are out there.
That's right. I mean, like I go to Walmart, but I could shop on Amazon, or I could go up here to Kroger, or I could go to Target. I mean, and Target's going to give me the better experience, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying anything, you know, and the best experience is shopping from home.
Yeah.
But, you know, and so you know, I guess it just depends on the day, but that is a relationship. And if your relationship with one place is better than another place, you're more likely to go to that place and spend your money, even if it is a little bit more expensive. Because it makes you feel a different way. And really, it's all about how you make that person feel. If you make them feel good, they're going to come back to your store.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like Matt used to hate it. I would go to Publix all the time instead of Kroger. He's like, they got the same stuff. But Publix used to make me feel a different way than Kroger did.
See, I shop at Publix.
Yeah, because it makes you feel a different way.
Publix makes me feel fancy.
Well, it's the closest to my house.
Well, there you go. But Kroger's closer to our house.
I feel like I'm living a better life when I shop at Publix for some reason. Like I'm like,
what is their slogan? Shopping's a pleasure. Or
yeah,
something like that? It is true to a point, though.
I just feel like even if I don't buy anything, I feel like I'm trying to be healthier because I'm shopping at Publix, and I don't even know why. I don't even know why. Like why? Why do I feel that way?
Well, they do pick their produce. They get the first pick of all the produce, so they do. Their produce is fresher.
I just feel like they have a lot of more healthy alternatives.
Do they?
You know what I'm saying?
Kroger's gotten better about it. But I think the thing about being with Matt for so long is I just turned into a cheapie.
Yeah, Walmart does not. Like Walmart doesn't have.
I'll put up with the Kroger, or I'll put up with the Walmart.
Have you guys been in
stuff.
that Kroger in Cartersville?
Yes, because I had to do my Gilenia stuff
they
there.
sell clothes in there.
The lady told Matt, she was like, I wish I worked at the one at Warner Robins. They have a jewelry store. I was like, that's the worst place to put a jewelry store in a Kroger, first of all. Second of all, that's crazy.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
We actually bought all the onesies that we bought from there because they were on sale. We bought a bunch of. Actually, I saw that same onesie on Amazon for $26. Yeah, the Grinch one's $26 on Amazon. I think we bought it for like.
Oh, I
10.
thought you were talking about baby onesies, but you're talking about adult onesies.
Adult onesies.
Gotcha.
And ones for the kids. Like we bought a unicorn one, a rainbow dash one, and a penguin one. It was weird, but that's where they had their little clinic. That's where I had to do. Because when you do Gilenia, you have to go sit at the doctor's office for 6 hours so that they can monitor you for 6 hours because your heart can be like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Have like palpitations and shit.
Which sometimes I do have palpitations, so it was probably a good thing to go up there. But
yeah,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
that is a really nice Kroger, though.
Yeah, man. I guess a good thing to wrap up on would be don't promise 100% and you won't let anybody down, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm.
Well, I think you should.
True story.
That's what I'm taking away.
Maybe don't
say you're gonna.
Just be genuine.
Just be genuine.
I think you're right. It is disingenuous to do that because you don't know if you can really. You don't know if you can honestly do that. I mean, I guess you could say I'm definitely going to pick that pin up, and you're probably most likely not gonna like just die before you pick that pin up. You know,
but something could happen.
Something could happen though.
Your
you don't
kid
know.
could run through without a diaper on and pee all over the floor,
That's
and
true.
then you don't get to pick that pin up.
I know.
You know, but I'm saying like I think you be as authentic and genuine as you can be, and you do the best that you can.
What's the old saying? Under promise, over deliver.
That's it, baby. Yeah, man. Kraig, thanks for coming, man. I really
thanks
appreciate you coming, and we'd love to have you again. Maybe you can kind of be a standard. Like, you know, Joe Rogan has like Brian Redband and the people that come on all the time. I've been thinking about.
I'll be a regular guy.
Yeah, a regular guest. You know what I mean?
I like to keep it normal.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's
baseline.
It's just it feels like talking to a friend with you instead of interviewing somebody.
Well, I hope Kraig is our friend.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like that.
Nope, I don't like friends.
But like, you know, when you're talking to someone who's a stranger, it's a little daunting sometimes.
Yeah. That is true. It is sometimes.
Well,
it is more. It is very comfortable.
But yeah.
I definitely talk a lot more.
We appreciate you coming, man. For real.
Thanks for having me. I love talking.
Kraig, our regular guest.
Yeah, one of our first. Maybe you'll be our first regular. But remember, guys at home, or gals at home, bros and brodettes, you know who you are, watching and listening. We appreciate you guys, and again, we want to say thanks to Kraig. And remember to, if you love this video, like and subscribe, and click that little ding-a-ling bell. You know what I'm saying?
Ding-a-ling.
The ding-a-ling.
Also, leave a 5-star review.
That's right.
Yeah.
We only accept 5 stars or no stars.
That's right.
And
and only good things said about us.
That's right.
We are awesome.
Positive comments, please. Okay, let's be positive. But we appreciate you guys, all our people out there in the internet land, and we want to thank you guys, and we hope you have a great day or night, whenever you might be listening.
Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun day. So thank you guys. You rock.